video. So as you all can see by the title, today I am extremely excited because I have actually created 5 easy tips that will help you all create self-love within yourself and actually grow your confidence very quickly, y'all. So I'm extremely excited. I know a lot of people have been asking me how to grow self-love, how to be confident, everything like that. So I just thought, you know what, let me just create, some fun, easy tips that you guys will be able to use on a day-to-day basis so you guys can actually grow self-love within yourself and live your best life. So I'm just gonna get started, y'all, because I'm extremely excited. But if y'all are new to my channel, my name is Maddie and I create new lit content every single week. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and press the notification bell so you can be a part of our family. Now I know y'all are ready to get into this video. I am too, so let's go. Alrighty, y'all, so I have the list right here that I created on my phone. So let's just get started with number 1. Disclaimer, I'm not saying that these are guaranteed to work, but they work for me, so hopefully they'll work for you. Now 2, also, as far as speed-wise and like growing your self-love and confidence, that's all going to be determined upon you as an individual and how quickly you're actually able to make those changes and sacrifices in your life in order to get where you want to go. A lot of times we want things, but we're not willing to make the sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's just all determined upon you, but we're going to get into that later. So let's just go with number 1. I know y'all geeking. I know y'all ready. The first tip you need to know in order to grow your self-love and confidence is to forgive yourself and others. You need to forgive yourself for anything that you have done to yourself or anybody else has done to you in your life, whether it be good or bad, anything that has happened to you in your life. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is a very hard thing to do. It's not like some, oh, okay, yeah, forgive everybody that did me wrong. No, it's very like hard. This is like a deep, very deep issue because this starts with actually like different childhood traumas and things like that. Personally, I believe that a lot of things stem from childhood traumas. In my belief, like your first really 15 years of living, I feel like that's a big determining factor upon how you are as an individual to this day, depending on your age and things of that nature. And even if you are young, you're basically shaping your mind now for how you'll actually end up being in the future, how you'll approach situations, deal with problems, and deal with different people as far as life goes. You need to forgive yourself for anything that you feel as though that you did wrong to yourself or caused wrong on yourself, like any type of harm, whether it be mental or physical, whatever the situation may be. And like I said, y'all, I know this is not like an easy thing to do because this is really like a deep thing, and a lot of people kind of like, okay, yeah, brush it off, but this is actually like a very deep situation. That's why I made this number 1, because this is probably going to be the main thing that you need in order to do so that every other step in this process actually works out the way you need it to work out. Now, I know some of you guys are like, okay, that's easy to do, and others of you guys are like, no, I'm not forgiving them, point blank, period. Now, so I would recommend going to therapy, seeing a therapist, writing it down, whatever has happened to you in your life that you have not forgiving yourself for or forgiving others for, whether it be the way you were raised, whether it be somebody how mistreated you in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? However deep the situation goes for you, you have to find it within yourself. Maybe even take some time to sit alone with yourself, maybe a couple days even, and really just reflect on your life and everything that you've been through and what you actually need to do in order to forgive these people in your life that have just done you wrong, and yourself as well. You cannot be mad at yourself for anything that has happened to you in your life. Okay, it's life, things happen. You have to accept yourself, you have to accept others for who they are and where they are at their life, in their life. And when I say forgive others, I'm not saying you forget, I'm not saying you do anything, but you need to forgive them in order for yourself so that you're able to like clear that negative space out of your mind and move on from it. Otherwise, you will continue to be affected by it without you even realizing, because on a day-to-day basis, it's actually in your subconscious mind. So when you're making decisions, you're not realizing that the decisions you're making are based on previous experiences in your life, which is why it is so important to clear out all that negativity and toxicity out of your life as quickly as possible. So yeah, so however this works for you, just whatever you need to do, y'all, for real, like I'm dead serious. If you guys need my help personally, let me know. You guys already know my email, my advice email, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys as well if you guys need somebody to talk to or anything like that. But honestly, I would just seek a therapist, counseling, anything like that. I know sometimes it's hard with friends and family. You can't really talk about certain things like that, especially when it's really, really deep things that you haven't even told anybody, you know what I'm saying? So I understand from a personal standpoint. So however, I know I'm rambling at this point, but really, y'all, I'm just doing that because like I can't really stress this one enough, that however you need to clear anything negative or toxic out of your life from the past, please do. And you have to forgive those people, but the main person you have to forgive is yourself. So rule number 2 / tip number 2 that you need in order to have self-love within yourself and grow your confidence fast is to set boundaries for the people in your life. Now, I know that once you get to a certain place in your life, now here's the thing, and this is why I stress about self-love so much, because self-love is, you know, the reason why self-love is so important is so that you can genuinely be happy, because I feel as though everybody has a purpose in their life. Now, when you're not fulfilling your purpose, you tend to be lost, confused, you're not happy, you're overwhelmed, stress, anxiety, depression, everything like that sits in, because you're not doing the things that actually fulfill you and make you happy. A lot of times people don't know actually what makes them happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, yeah, that makes me happy, but is that what you're passionate about? You know what I'm saying? Is that what is your driving force? Is that what gets you up going every single day? And if you're wondering, like, you're kind of sluggish every day and you're wondering what really gets you going and what is your purpose here on earth besides, you know, being a nice person and eating good food, you know what I'm saying? You have to really find that within yourself. So it's important to take time for yourself to find out who you are as an individual so that you're able to make those changes and things like that. And with that being said, you need to set boundaries for the people that you have in your life, because a lot of times people do not understand your process of your thought process and why you make the decisions that you do in order for your life. You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing the things that you're doing, but they don't realize that it's because it's who you are and it's in your nature and it's actually what makes you you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you need to set boundaries so that people are not easily influencing you, and that goes for parents and family as well. Those are honestly the main people I feel like you need to set boundaries for, is your family. I feel like honestly that's the main thing. I know a lot of people are like, what? But like, family is just so hard because they're always there, they're supportive, they love you, but a lot of times the support that they give might not be the support that you need, and it's kind of hard to tell your family like, hey, like, I'm good, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't really need your help, like, let me do me, let me live my life, and let me please show you what I'm talking about so you can see that I'm not like crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of people kind of go through that different transitional phase where they're just figuring out themselves while still trying to make everybody in their life happy, but you really just cannot do that. So whether it's your family, whether it's your mom, dad, whatever the situation may be, cousin, aunt, uncle, if you know that you want to be something in life, an astronaut, let's just say, you know what I'm saying, then do not listen to your aunt and everybody tell you that you need to go to culinary school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's like super off the beaten path, but y'all know what I'm saying when people are basically trying to put their 2 cents in with your life and tell you what you need to do and when you need to do it and give their advice. I feel as though it's best to learn from personal experiences. And you know, even with my parents tell me all types of stuff, y'all. Back in the day, I did not used to follow my parents' rules at all, and I got into a lot of trouble. But I learned from the situations, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I would not go back and do it again, but I don't regret it either, because I would not be in the position I am today had I not went through those different things and situations in my life. So it's important to set boundaries so that people are aware that you are not subjecting yourself to anything negative and you're not changing your mind about it. Because a lot of times, like, when you say you want to do something, people will try to stray you to kind of change your mind, especially like your parents or something. Like, let's say you want to drop out of school, they'll be like, no, you need to go back, you need to do this, you know what I'm saying, please do this, you know what I'm saying. They try to encourage you to really go back to school or do whatever it is, but you have to set boundaries. Like, hey, I would really appreciate it if we just really didn't talk about the school thing. I love you, you love me, you know what I'm saying, we have an understanding. But in order for us to grow, and I don't want to ruin our relationship because of our different perspectives on my life, you know what I'm saying, because it is my life at the end of the day. So it's important to set those boundaries for people in your life so that they know it's not okay to talk about certain things, because you don't want to, you know, basically cause so much stress and chaos in your own mind. Because y'all, I know that for me, when I made the decision to drop out of school and pursue my dreams and everything like that, it was fun, it was dandy, I absolutely loved it. But it was the different like opinions that I was hearing from everybody in my family and my personal life that kind of had me second guessing myself until I really made it clear, like, okay, this is not, you know what I'm saying, like, I know what I need to do for me, like, I'm doing this, I'm not changing my mind about it, it is what it is, please, let's just move on and go forward. Not only that, this also goes, it's very important to set boundaries so that people are not taking advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? You can't just always be nice all the time. Like with me, I am nice all the time up until a point where it's like, okay, now I'm sick of this. And then when you get to the point where you're sick of this, then people try to act like you're the bad guy because they're really not used to you having boundaries and things like that. So it just makes it easier to set boundaries in the beginning so that you're not having to do that, you know, later on. And that goes for whether it's a relationship, friendship, things like that, because y'all, people will try to use you and take advantage and push you to the as far as they possibly can go. Okay, unfortunately in life, I feel like everybody is nice. I don't think that, you know, they might come off as nice, but I feel like everything happens for everybody is a certain way because of something that has happened to them in their life, whether they discuss it or not. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everything stems from a deeper rooted issue, but that's just my personal opinion. Tip number 3 to help you grow your self-love and confidence fast is daily affirmations. This is honestly one of my favorite tips because I've been using it for the last 3 years, a little bit over 3 years actually now at this point, but I feel like this is one of the things that makes the biggest difference in your life as well. Daily affirmations make a big difference, y'all. You do not realize the importance until you start doing it. So if you all do not know what an affirmation is, it's basically, well, this is my personal definition, but it's basically, it's like a script almost that you rehearse with yourself to help you like remember who you are and where you're wanting to go in your life. So it's kind of like a remembrance or a reminder of who you are. It's kind of like a big reminder. I don't know, I feel like an affirmation, in my opinion, like the easiest way I could describe it is almost like a big check off list. That's kind of how I use it in my life, because when I do my daily affirmations, I speak about all the things that I have coming up, all the things that I am grateful for, thankful for. You know, of course I start off by saying, you know, thanking God for another 24 hours. Like, this is, let me just tell you guys my affirmations or else it's not going to really make sense. Okay, so basically I start off by saying thanking God for another 24 hours, thanking, you know, for blessing me with everything that I have in my life, knowledge, everything of that nature, you know. So I start off by being very grateful. That's how I start off my days as well. My affirmations I use every single day, every single morning, so that I'm really well aware of the day, and every day is starting off on the right path. Every day is starting out good, fresh. And that's the importance of an affirmation, because it reminds you, it really is like a self-reminder. It's like a, I don't know, y'all, I feel like I'm describing this really weird right now, but it's really not that complex. But basically it's just like a daily reminder of where you are and who you are, and I do that so that I'm always starting the day off on a positive note. Even if something negative or bad happened the day before, I'm not thinking about it, because I'm remembering, okay, everything happens for a reason. I'm powerful, I'm smart, I'm a genius, I'm creative, whatever I need to tell myself on a day-to-day basis, so that I remember that. And that's also what I do too in negative situations, or, you know, because a lot of you guys know that I have really like bad anxiety. I don't believe in labels, but whatever. And I've been able to really cope with that because I've practiced different mind techniques. I know I just said different twice, disregard that. Different mind techniques, you know, that I've been able to use, and affirmation is a one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because it just kind of is a self-remembrance that everything will be okay. Calm your mind, everything's good, everything's working out, this is my purpose, everything's working out the way it needs to be. So daily affirmations, you really just need to create a list of things that you really want for yourself in your life. So it, you know, it's going to differentiate between person and person, but I think that you always should start your affirmation off with what you're grateful for, what you're thankful for, what do you want to have next happen into your life. Also, everything in life is energy. So even in your affirmations, put finances in your affirmations as well. If you guys want to, you know, obtain, or, you know, an abundance amount of money and things like that. The only thing is you have to be very careful when you're doing affirmations and manifestations and stuff, because you have to be extremely specific, extremely specific. And I've told people this too when it comes to the manifestation things. I'll do another video on manifestation, an updated one. I did one before, so if you guys haven't seen that. But basically, when you're manifesting, you have to be extremely specific, because if you manifest things, they will come, but it's in the matter of how you want it to come. Because I've heard people, and this is even like a true story, I remember this girl, and she had manifested, it was a story I watched, whatever, she had manifested $10,000, right? She had kept saying it, you know, affirmed it, created everything so that she had her $10,000. The way she got her $10,000 is she ended up being in a car accident, and that was the payout from her insurance. It ended up being $10,000 that she got paid from that car accident. So it's like, okay, you can get what you want, but do you really want it, and how bad you want it? So that's why even when you're affirming things and you're manifesting things, you always want to make sure, what I always put at the end of whatever I'm saying, with nothing bad or tragic having to happen to any of my family or friends, so that, or me, you know what I'm saying, so that the universe knows, hey, okay, Maddie wants it, but Maddie don't want it at a cost, okay? I don't want to pay the price, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't get something for nothing. So that's why you just have to be very specific with that. But hopefully you guys kind of understood the importance of affirmation. Also, this just is a little side note, but if you guys are in a relationship or you're wanting to be in a relationship with somebody and it's a specific person, a lot of times when you try to manifest people into your life, it does not work out because they end up not being the people that you really need, okay? It's difference between having somebody that you want and somebody that you need in your life. It's a big difference, because just because you want them does not mean that they're actually the right person for you. And then you want to, if you manifest people into your life and they come and then you realize that they're not the person that you really wanted, that can be a bad thing too, because you just basically want to be very careful, because basically I'm saying all of this to say that when you are working with the universe and talking with the universe and are one with the universe, you are basically creating your own reality. So you have to be very specific, because the reality you create might not be the reality that you really want. Now, it might be your reality that you want right now and it would be great, but in the future, so you just have to be very specific. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all fun and games you messing with the person that done did you wrong and they done fixed themselves, until now you're spending the rest of your life with them, and then you realize that, hey, wow, I actually don't like you and this is awkward, so now I have to deal with you for the rest of my life because we done had a kid together and all types of stuff. So yeah, be careful. That's all I'm going to say. Be careful, be careful, be careful. The main thing that I want you guys to take from the daily affirmations daily affirmations is not necessarily what you're saying, but the consistency of when you're saying it, because this is when you're really going to start to grow that self-love within yourself, because you're telling yourself every single day who you are. You're reminding yourself every single day, I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I'm smart, I'm talented. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing that on a day-to-day basis consistently, especially every single day, a couple different times a day, and your mind will start to shift, because your subconscious mind can't help with it intake. So if you're intaking nothing but positivity on a day-to-day basis, it's kind of like, it's almost as if you're tricking your mind into believing that you're this grandiose person before you actually believe it yourself. And then over time you will feel that way, because you will know that that is you, because once you start, you know, speaking it and saying it every day, you realize like that is the person that you are. So it's not like really in the beginning it's kind of like a mind trick, but it turns out to be your reality once you do it on a consistent basis. And that's why I just preach on the affirmations, and that's why it's so important, because it really will change your entire outlook on life once you start viewing yourself differently. So this is probably the most important step, like I said, y'all, because it's really the consistency a part of it. And on top of doing daily affirmations, the other thing I do is I create different like little words and sayings all around my room. So like, this is my filming room, but in my bedroom I have different affirmations all on my walls, y'all. Like my entire everything. If you guys do not know, I don't watch TV. My TV is covered with different things and goals and stuff that I have, because it reminds me, you know, not to watch TV, whatever. So anytime if you turn over and look at the TV, it's just all my goals and affirmations. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it really just helps me personally. These are just things that I use. Hopefully they'll help you guys as well. But yeah, basically that's when I say on the affirmation, it's important because it's the consistency part of it that will make the big difference in your life. So you just have to be consistent about it, and I promise you that over time you yourself will believe everything that you're saying, and it will just change your whole outlook on life. And also I would recommend putting things on your wall, room, whatever, changing the wallpaper on your phone screen, everything like that, so you can, it's a constant reminder. You literally have to see and remind yourself constantly of who you are and what you want in life. And like, y'all already see my wallpaper, you know what I'm saying? It's myself. Like, this is my Instagram and stuff like that. This is old wallpaper I made a while ago, but it basically just helps me. It's a daily reminder, you know, and it says wealthy genius, so that I'm always reminded, okay, I am a genius. And you know what I'm saying? It just has me thinking extremely highly of myself on a day-to-day basis, which I love. So the fourth major tip that you need to know in order to grow self-love and confidence in yourself is take time to process and feel your emotions. Now y'all probably like, girl, like, okay, you just giving out tips. No, This is extremely important because in order to love yourself, you have to be able to deal with your emotions, because that's what a lot of things stem from. Basically, if somebody says that you're ugly, you cannot feel any type of way about that because you know you're the baddest and it doesn't even affect you. But a lot of people do get affected by what people say or what people do because they don't have self-love or confidence in themselves. But when you love yourself and you know who you are and you know your worth, the things that people say won't bother you because you know that they don't love themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody is not going to hate on somebody that loves themselves is not going to hate on others. We don't have time for it. We don't care, to be completely honest. And we feel bad for those that don't love themselves because we know that deep down inside you're not happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to be able to process your emotions, feel your emotions, and understand why you feel the way that you do when situations occur, or what is the reasoning behind, you know, you thinking the way that you do about yourself or about others. So it's very important to take time and process your emotions whenever happens, in whatever situation it may be. And this kind of goes back to that first tip, you know, of like forgiveness, because you have to let everything go in order for like new things to happen in your life. You know what I'm saying? What was it like Einstein said, like, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Like, you know what I'm saying? So basically, in order to change, and if you want to love yourself, you have to change how you view yourself. And it's not no little, you know what I'm saying, it's big changes, big things that you have to, you know, do. And this is one of them, because this is something that you have to work on every single day. And this goes with confidence and self-love too. You have to do this every single day, because if you don't, like, I'm telling you, your confidence will lessen, it will fall off, and you don't even realize. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just very important. Like, what you get used to and what you're accustomed to is going to be second nature to you. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to think about it when somebody says something or anything once you've learned and gone through all these steps in order to really love yourself, trust yourself, understand yourself, and know your worth. Because this is really all goes back to knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing who you are. So it's very important to process your emotions when you feel them, and you do not just let stuff brush you off and go about its way, because then when that situation happens again, or another situation that occurs that's kind of similar to it, you'll be able to respond differently than how you were responding previously during previous situations, because now you love yourself, now you understand yourself, now you understand where the other person is coming from too. Also, when you get into situations and different things, discussions with people, you might take stuff to heart. You may take it, you know, personally when somebody asks you a question, but they really are not even coming at you that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just because you are still growing that self-love within yourself, and you're still understanding yourself. So sometimes you might think that people are trying to be a certain way when they're really not. So, you know, it's just very important to process your emotions so that you know why you feel that way. Then once you realize why you feel that way, or why do you think those things about yourself, you'll be able to slowly make the changes and starting to change that thought process. So like I've said, y'all, this is not like an overnight thing. It's going to take time. So, but by doing this every day, you'll be able to make those changes over time. So basically, like, the decisions that you make today will really determine where your life is 5 years from now. The smallest decisions to the biggest decisions, whether you read that book or whether you take that job, whether you date that person, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever decision you make that's small will have a big impact on your life later down on the road. So that's like what I just have to say about life, because you know a lot of people say that too. Like, you don't realize it until, and the best example I can make is food. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's okay to have a couple cheeseburgers every day until 10 years down the road you weigh like you weigh what you need to not be weighing. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to make daily, you know, changes in order to change your life down in the future. So hopefully you guys kind of understood what I was saying. Drum roll, please. Brrr, ba, 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 ba. The fifth and final tip, what we have all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest tip of them all, the greatest tip of them all, is to spend time with yourself. You have to spend time alone. You have to love yourself. You have to really enjoy being alone. And I know a lot of people are like, but no, I like hanging out with people. If you get bored hanging out with yourself, then you do not love yourself. And I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel about it. I don't know, because maybe I'm a Virgo too. You know, we're able to be alone. But I feel like, you know, if you're not okay with being alone, being in your own thoughts, then you're chasing something. You know what I'm saying? You're obviously not living out your purpose. Because I feel like for me, when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, like like living out my purpose, I feel like my mind is constantly racing because I'm always busy. I'm always coming up with ideas. Like my mind is constantly racing. I'm always being creative. So it's hard to be bored. Like if ever I'm bored, it's really me procrastinating. Like I'm never really bored. But if you actually are like really bored, it's because you haven't really found your purpose yet, or you haven't found that thing that gets you driven and that gets you going, and you haven't found that thing that really makes you happy enough to never really be bored. And so if you always seek validation in others and always want to hang out with others and chill with others, you know what I'm saying, you're losing something in yourself in the process. Like there's no way that you can spend that much time with other people without spending at least a quarter of that time with yourself. So like for me, I'd rather spend way more time with myself than anybody else, because self-growth, you have to be it's self-growth, you know what I'm saying? It's self-growth. It's not we all growth, you know what I'm saying? It's self-growth. This is self-love, you know what I'm saying? Me, and not no we, it's me. So that's why it's important to take time with yourself and love yourself. You got to understand too, like this is just something I'm going to say. Okay, sip my tea. But if you do not like being alone with you, why would anybody else like being alone with you? And I'm sorry, but that just is what it is. Like when it comes to relationships, friendships, things like that, if you don't like being alone by yourself, like if you not doing anything, you're not bringing nothing to the table, why would anybody else want to be alone with you? Okay, you know what I'm saying? But when you love yourself and you find self-love within yourself and you become who you are meant to be, I'm telling you guys, your personality will start to like skyrocket. Because like I feel like even with me, like my personality by the day is just getting stronger and stronger and more unique, because I feel like I'm coming into myself more and more. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting happier. I'm getting more understanding, more clarity from the universe of what I'm supposed to be doing and what my purpose is and what truly does make me happy and makes me sad, so that I'm able to make different changes in my life, so that I'm able to live my best life. So that's why it's so important to love yourself. So you really have to spend time with yourself in order to do that. And one thing that I did in the whole process of self-love is I took a year where I literally woke up every single day, y'all. I went to the park, I read a book. That's when I was reading like a book a week or like a book every 2 weeks, and that really made a really big difference on me and my mindset, y'all. So I'm thinking about doing like maybe like some sort of book club type of thing. I don't really know, but I know I want to get back into the reading, and I know that you guys need some advice and, you know, different knowledge on book. Okay, we'll get into that another story. But anyway, so it's very important to spend time with yourself and love yourself, so you have an understanding, a clear understanding for yourself and what you like and dislike in your life. And like I was saying, this really is a big part of self-love, because it is a part of being you, is working on yourself, taking that time to really sit and listen to your mind think. You know what I'm saying? With nothing else around you, no technology, no distractions. People can be distractions without you realizing it, whether it's a friendship, relationship, parent, school, teacher, work, whatever the situation might be. Okay, it's so easy to get distracted by others, and especially their viewpoints and their way of life. And you don't realize, and this is what I said before, you cannot help what your subconscious mind takes. So the people that you're hanging around, even if you don't say anything because you're in your own zone, your subconscious mind is still intaking all this stuff that they're saying, and you're not realizing that it's processing without you even processing it. You know what I'm saying? So you're actually making, basically it's almost as you're making unconscious decisions in your life because of stuff that's already been programmed into your subconscious mind. That's why it's extremely important. In order to change your life, you have to shift your current paradigm, you have to shift your mindset, you have to make a lot of changes in yourself. And one of those changes is loving yourself, spending time with yourself, figuring out what you like, who you like, and why you actually like it. You know, why do you even like what you like? Do you know? Do you really? Really? So that's my last and final tip. Hopefully this video was helpful. I really had a great time filming this for you guys today. I really do hope this helps somebody. I would love to make more content like this, because you guys know how much I freaking love talking about self-love, confidence, everything like that. So thank you guys so much for supporting me along my journey. This is my journey, you know, in order to, you know, love myself, grow my confidence, follow my dreams, pursue entrepreneurship, live my life, you know, with anxiety, whatever, even though, you know, your girl does not believe in labels, but I say that so that I can help somebody else on their journey as well. So yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys like this video, can you please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, like, and press the notification bell so you guys know my next video is out. I appreciate you guys and I love you guys so much. All the love and support you guys have been giving me literally means the world to me, and I cannot thank you guys enough. I hope everybody has an absolutely amazing day. Keep being great, keep being original, keep being true to being you. I love you, I appreciate you, and I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. Bye! But wait! Before you leave, if you guys need any additional help, feel free to email me, comment down below, let me know if this video was helpful, message me on Instagram, do whatever you need to do to get in contact with your girl. Please stay up to date. I love you, I appreciate you, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Keep being unique.